it's Deanne here, the author behind My Monthly Manuscript. And today I'm actually not going to be talking to you about my writing process at all. I'm going to be walking you through one of my favorite tools for helping your author platform. What tool are we going to be working on today? I guess you'll just have to find out and see. So make sure to subscribe so you don't miss one of these future great videos, and we're going to go ahead and move on to this week's tool. Hey there, happy writers. So this week I'm going to show you one of my favorite tools, which is called Query Tracker. So Query Tracker is just what it sounds to be. You use it to find yourself an agent, to organize and track your queries, and to explore agent data. So when you come to Query Tracker and you create an account, I went ahead and purchased the premium account. It's only okay, good. That's not any of my private information that you might not already have. It's only $25 a year. Can you imagine $25 a year? This is unbelievable. So it's really just a fantastic option. So they maintain and go through the agent listings really quickly. They update them, they add new agents. You can see if they're closed to queries or not. So I'm going to show you how this works real quick. If you want to search for agents, I was wanting to query her directly, which is why she pops up. It has amazing memory. So see, I was working on a book by Scott Thompson called The Healer, and here I was wanting to really reach out to this agent to see if she would be interested in taking on that project and pushing Scott up to the next level in his career. But let's go in here real quick, because you can not only look for agents, you can look for publishers as well. So in my boutique publishing company, we actually started an agency league for our existing authors where we take their second, third, or fourth novels and we sell them up to the next level up. I am a firm believer that in the publishing industry, your publisher should always try to get you to the next step, either in better writing, better publicity, better promotion, and helping and encouraging you to get up to the next level of publisher. And then that publisher should help you step up from there if you don't go in to a large house from the beginning. I think if any publisher wants to keep you stagnant, then they're not the right publisher for you. Okay, so really take that into consideration. So this has been a really odd year where I haven't been able to secure a lot of book reviews. We haven't been able to place books as easily. We've had a lot of interest, a lot of little nibbles on books. I've had 3 agents on board with us this year who were really super excited, got to work, and then quit and sort of dropped out because they got discouraged by the number of rejections. And it does take about 100 rejections, they say, per book to get placed. We've done everything from look at our queries over again, rewrite synopsises, rewrite chapter settings and quotes and everything that we do in these books. And these are amazing titles that we're working with. I know I'm going off on a little bit of a tangent right now, but the point is, if you are querying, stick with it. We've been querying really hard for 10 months on 4 amazing books, and it has been a little bit of a challenge. So with some of the publishers not biting, we're looking at moving these books to other agency options as well. And if we can secure an agent that maybe has inside connections, because this industry is extremely subjective. So it could be down to an agent having a really good relationship with an editor and being able to talk to them on a personal level and get that book into a publishing house that has maybe even already rejected us. So, this is something I knew we were going to go into. It's all part of being in publishing. It's all that slow build. Um, you either hit it really, really hard and you're just on it from the beginning, or it's a nice slow crawl. And I will tell you, a lot of the people that make it look like they just got lucky and got through really quickly have probably been working really hard on it behind the scenes for years and just not saying anything. So if I wanted to look for more for Scott, let's say I wanted to look at publishers, I would just click on publishers. And this is Southern Fiction, so I'm going to type in Southern Fiction. Oh, nope, sorry. The Healer has a profile. So it's under literary fiction. You can change the category if you want. And then this should have the word count in here. Okay, so see, right now I'm currently querying, actively querying these 5 titles. There is a 6th title that is currently out on Read, and it is not migrated into Query Tracker quite yet. But let's take a look at Alex and Ivy real quick. Because this is, I don't want to give too much away about somebody else's project, so I'll pick one of mine for the rest of this video. So Alex and Ivy is a young adult novel, and it features themes of small town life. There are themes of stereotypes and racism in there. Ivy is a student. Alex is the first Black student to move into their school district. And this is largely based on how I grew up in Indiana at a small town school. So I've had a lot of rejections on this book. I've had people tell me that the writing is good, but the subject matter is too controversial. Some people can't believe that there are still places in the US where they're not integrated yet. And so that's kind of a problem with people who have maybe been in New York their whole life. They don't understand that there's other ways that people live. And I can tell you a lot of the material for this book came off of what some of my high school classmates were saying on Facebook still in 2018. So it is a very challenging book, and it was picked up. And after it was picked up, it was then dropped because I wasn't willing to make some of the changes that would soften the material. And I know that that sounds crazy to pick up an agent and then drop it. I have changed the title since then. I've changed some of the character names since then. I'm going into the project fresh than what it was originally called, but I don't believe that this is a book that I can water down. To be honest with you, I think it's going to lose the point. And if I water it down, it's just going to be another piece about a white person, glorifying their racial education. And that's not what this piece is about at all. It's more about kind of like ingrained subconscious biases that we are taught and that we teach. So trying to water that down is just not possible. So always know your book, know what you're willing to do. I write so much that if I don't place this book, I'm okay. I'll put it out through my boutique publisher, and then I'll just keep pushing some of my future projects until I find the right one for the mass market. So this one is in here as young adult. So what I see right now are 185 publishers that are young adult publishers. It also tells me if they're currently querying or not, if they take it through email with a lightning bolt, or if they want it through snail mail with the little envelope here. It also tells me what country they're in, and this is important because of what your audience might be. So this book might not do well in a European market. It may do well in Canada or Australia, but maybe not. As much as I hate to say it, I kind of feel like race relations are really a hot topic item in the US, and other countries either aren't approaching them, maybe don't want to admit that they might be there, or they're a little bit more integrated. And so, needless to say, with this being based in a high school, I feel like starting it in the US and then letting a professional who knows the market, knows what foreign option rights might be available, they can then push it out. So if somebody has commented on a publisher's profile, you'll see the little orange bubble. And when you click on that, you can see what people say. So this says that they now accept email submissions. That's great. I've seen some of these that actually say pretty rough things, like stay away, don't go here, blah, blah, blah. Withdrew due to accepting contract elsewhere. Okay, and then if you see like this one here for Avon Books, this means it's an online form. Canada, generally with Canada, you have to be Canadian to submit to them. So here's one, AK Press. Let's see. They accept snail mail, they prefer email. There's no comments on this publisher. I want to see query response times. So as of this, no one using Query Tracker has queried them and been accepted. Only 2 people have tracked this particular publisher in this software. They both got negative responses within 9 days, average time. So this is the genres that they take. They are nonfiction. So I know that this one is not for me. Let's go back. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to check mark AK Press, and I don't want to query them. Yeah, I forgot how to do this. You can remove publishers from your query list. Give me just a second. Oh, here we go. My query record. Add this publisher to my do not query list. And then they're not going to pop back up because at this time I don't write nonfiction. I'm not interested in querying them for this book. So see, now I'll get this big red X here. But what we want to do is we do want to find a publisher for Alex and Ivy. And so I'm going to take a guess and move down to something in through here. Let's try Bella Books, Tallahassee, Florida. I always look to make sure that the address actually goes to a website. They give me their website, so I'll load that while I'm seeing if there's any comments. Submission per guidelines, nudge after 90 days, emailed saying I'm planning to submit to other agencies. Submission guidelines have changed. The website says they're a seller. Interesting. So let's take a look. But do you see how this saves you so much time for $25 a year? I mean, give it to me. That's cheaper than the writers and authors guides. So this actually does reflect like a seller. Okay, so this is an LGBT publisher, so this is not going to work for my book because it's not LGBT. So I'm going to add that to my do not query list. Okay, let's go back to publishers. I'm going to push towards the end here. And Spencer Hill is a really great press. Let's take a look. Let's load them up. Let's see what people have said. So they're not acquiring anymore in 2019. So I know right now I don't need to query them right now. but I do want to query them later, so I am going to add them to my query list. And this one would actually work for some of our other projects too. So what I can do is then I can go to like these here and automatically add this query to my other projects, even though I'm not in that profile. Now let's look at agents, because maybe I want to go back through agents with Alex and Ivy. And what I can actually, I'll show you something here in a minute, because I've actually already been querying this one heavily. So these are out. Penny Moore at Avitus. Let's see what people are saying about Miss Penny Moore. Okay, so this is what people are submitting. So somebody submitted a 27,000 word middle grade historical fiction. Somebody, wow. Somebody queried an hour later, got a phone call, and was offered representation on 2 days. That is amazing. There is your golden ticket right there. So it does happen. Stick with it. You never know what project. Never heard back. Rejection. Okay. So now let's take a look a little bit deeper into Penny. Let's see what genre she wants. Middle grade, picture book, young adult, no nonfiction. Some of her biggest clients right here. You can save a copy of the query letter in here if you want. And like I said, it doesn't give this to the agent, it's just for your private record. So if it's easier to put it in here and then copy and paste it and adjust it to every single agent that you're submitting, you have that option to do so in here as well. And then you can also explore data a little bit. So Penny Moore has been queried through Query Tracker 1,457 times. And keep in mind that this is solely through Query Tracker. This does not include queries that she gets outside of this software from people who are not tracking it. And this shows you word counts, rejected, rejected, rejected. So if you get rejected, you guys, it happens. It's just a part of our life. Publishing is very subjective. It all goes on what they are feeling at that moment in time. And it also depends on if they feel like they can represent your book. So this is how I like to look at rejections. I look at rejections as them saying, not that I'm a bad writer, not that my book is bad, just that they are not the avenue to make that book match what I want. And I have a lot of respect for that. And so I would love it if you even considered thinking about your rejections in that way. They're not saying no to you, they're saying no to this project right now and encouraging you to keep looking for the right fit. Okay, so let's go into her. Yeah, so see, a lot of people get rejections. Just a part of life, guys. Now what I want to do is I want to manage my queries. My neighbors are doing construction, which is part of the reason there hasn't been a My Monthly Manuscript this month. I thought they were finished for the morning, but they're going back at it. Let me go here to Elliot the engineer because I've been a little bit more detailed with this. This is a picture book, and this is everyone that I have queried for this particular picture book. So I have 2 pages of queries for this person. I recently got denied by Rick Richter today. So what I want to do is update this query. So these are the different options that you can do. You can set reminders, you can put notes, you can simply watch an agent and they'll tell you if anything pops up on that agent's page. You can decide what query you want for one agent to be. You can archive old queries. You can move a query to a new project. Or you can click here to go directly to Mr. Richter. There is a way to, you can see actually how many people are out with him right now and where they're at. Gosh, this construction's super annoying. But what I want to do is adjust my query status. So I was rejected, and it was a form letter. So I'm just going to save that because that was rejected. And some of the rest of these, since they've been out like in September, are probably also honestly going to be rejections. And this probably tells me that I need to look at this book even a little bit deeper. It is a children's picture book, and I wrote it thinking the parents would read it to the child, but maybe it's too complicated and just not for the market right now. So I am going to investigate that, maybe change some things up, and then start on my next query. Because with these going on almost a month, I think it's safe to say that these are possibly no's. But if anything changes, I'll update you. So see how easy this is to use? And clearly you can see sometimes I still have to kind of click around and look a little bit. But there's just so much in here that you can go to. So here we go, since your premium, it's $25 a year. And this is what you get extra. There is a free version, but with $25 a year, you can do everything that I have shown you as of right now as far as starting projects, query lists, exporting, things of that nature that I love. And there's forums. So you can socialize with other people. And of course, help. How to avoid scams, knowing your genres, all of how to use. And most of this also comes with great screenshots and amazing videos to show you how to use it. They're constantly updating, adding new features, and they're telling you all about it. So for $25 a year, this is hands down one of the best tools that I have ever used. I love it. I highly recommend you getting it. I am not affiliated with Query Tracker in any way, shape, or form. I do not get any money for pushing Query Tracker. I don't have an affiliate account with Query Tracker. I just love the product, and I think you should too. It's a great way to take some of that stress off and to expand your query potential. All right, so next week I'm going to tell you about this month's project. Hopefully my neighbors will be done with construction, or I can find a quiet place to do my video and talk to you about the book I'm writing this week or this month, because I am so excited about my tragedy thriller. And after my happy writing meeting group yesterday, our first in-person group, I am so excited to get going. So I can't wait to tell you all about my tragedy thriller next month. And if you have something that you want me to look at and review, or a product or a need in your writing career, such as writing management or social media management, I'll show you my favorite tools along the course of this video series. So I'll see you guys next week. Have a fantastic weekend.